Okay.
Bruh.
We're wasting the friggin' film.
Okay, a thumbnail.
You sound like my mother.
She's a Guyanese girl.
What's good, JANDTFAM family? We're back again with another lit
banger. Yeah. Anyway, guys, you can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about
ADHD in relationship.
Yeah.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, so, if you haven't already, and if you're new to our channel, please subscribe, hit the bell so you know we're dropping new bangers, like, comment, do it all up, look in our description at our Instagram, our shorts, sign up for our 5K giveaway, and yeah, let's get into it. So, if you can't already tell, and I know we've mentioned it a few times, and a lot of our shorts are about it because we like to joke around about it, he and I both have ADHD. And ADHD makes relationships kind of complicated. It has its own little
Quirks.
things that
Things
it
that
adds.
need to be worked out. Things that I
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of hard for someone who doesn't have ADHD to not get irritated and annoyed with the person in a relationship.
Yeah, we're gonna like talk about how we both like individually struggle in our like life and like how that kind of goes into a relationship, and then maybe give you guys some advice on how to like be in a relationship with somebody that has ADHD, whether you have it yourself or you don't.
Yeah.
Like maybe help people kind of understand it a little bit more, because definitely I think this is the first relationship that I've had where I feel like accepted about it.
You love me. You really love me.
So, who do you want to go first? Like, what do you want to talk about? Like, what you specifically struggle with that like sucks for you, like day-to-day life?
I think for me, day-to-day life, it sucks when, like, because with my job, I mean, I think I have a lot on my plate at once. And with my...
A lot of tasks.
A lot of tasks, and with my ADHD, it's really hard for me to like complete one task without medication.
Yeah.
My brain is constantly all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm like forgetful.
Scattered.
And that's not because I don't care, which is often perceived like it's I don't care in relationships, but it's just because that's just kind of what comes with the territory when you think of ADHD. I do think also sometimes, I don't know if I necessarily anymore. I used to be really bad, like in terms of like needing like a physical outlet. Like I was constantly like moving and like I just needed to get up and move. And I think for me, like playing like really competitive basketball.
Yeah, your whole life.
My whole life. I think that really helped to curb that. But now I think it's more, for me, it's gone from like the physical side, like more to the mental more, I would say.
I would say a lot of adults, it kind of moves away from like, the physical can still totally be a component of it, but I think it's a lot more like obvious with people's like mental like capacity for things. Like for me, it's almost completely like a mental thing. I think it comes out physically sometimes because I'm really busy mentally. Like I'm trying to do a million things at once. I think like we struggle with a lot of the same things, so like the whole being like my life is really busy too, and I really struggle with trying to schedule things, like understand plans, because like I don't really understand like lists or like schedules. Like I can look at them and I figuratively, like I'm not like I can see what it is and like what I'm theoretically supposed to do, but it's really hard for me to like follow through with it, or when I look at it I get really stressed out. Because if I look at a calendar, it's easy. Some people, regular people, look Monday to Friday, oh I have to do this, this, and this. I look at it and it's like I look at every single thing all at one time and I can't like process it properly, so it just gives me a lot of like anxiety. So I think something that I've struggled with my entire life is just like with people and people I'm dating is trying to like make people understand that that the anxiety comes from not being able to like process like what's like what I have to do, and that leads me to like not finish, like same as you, not finish tasks without medication, to like struggle to understand like if I have plans or when I have plans or what I have to do, and that comes across as totally uncaring to my partners, even though that's not my intention and it's something I physically and like mentally can't do. I also get paralysis, like ADHD paralysis. People talk about that. It's like when you have all these things on your plate, you almost feel like stuck. Like I feel stuck and I feel like I can't. I have two modes. Either one is I will do everything. I will clean the entire house because I'm like in a mood where I know I have to get all these things done, or I can't do anything. And like the main thing I think for us is that we're like gentle with each other about it. Because we both just came from relationships, like our last ones, where every single thing to do with the ADHD like was like, I can't believe you're so careless. I can't believe you would do this to me, or I can't believe you're not picking up your slack. Whereas now it's kind of like, she's having a really hard day, so I'm gonna pick it up.
It's just that the interpretation piece is different because we understand each other, so we're not interpreting it in any type of like a negative way. We just know what's going on inside of each other's brain. And like I think that the patience piece is like, you're not gonna have that patience piece if the person that you're dating doesn't necessarily understand. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like anyone who doesn't have ADHD is like impatient and like horrible, and I
you don't
know
get the
for
struggle.
a fact that there's tons of relationships where one person has ADHD and the other person doesn't, and it works perfectly fine. We're just talking from our own experiences, and like in general, if you actually think about it, there are challenges that would come with that scenario of someone who doesn't versus with somebody who does.
There's challenges for us, and we both do.
And we both do, exactly.
So it's not, we're not perfect, and no one else is either.
Yeah, and then there's like little quirky things that happen like with ADHD that like, you know, might not seem like a big deal, but like it ends up becoming a big deal. And like for example, like in one of the previous videos that we just did, I was talking about how I have really bad texture issues from ADHD. And so like I am very particular about the type of fabrics that are touching my body. Like I cannot do like woolly, like picky textures or especially velvet. Like velvet is like my number one, makes my skin crawl just looking at it, let alone touching it.
There's a bunch of things. It's not just that. It's like, it can be like towels, it can be
anything, okay? Sheets, it's textured.
Like the fabric of a car, the fabric of a couch, the fabric of a chair.
It's
restaurants, like stores, clothing, everything.
Like you having ADHD and knowing that that can be a side effect of ADHD gives you the patience that like guys, when I'm saying like when we're picking things out for the house, if it has anything to do with like linens or blankets or anything like that,
she needs to be there.
I have to be there because I have to touch it to make sure that I can actually touch it, because if I can't, I will not be able. If I can't and I know that there's something in the house that has that texture, I'm like uncomfortable. Even if I'm not looking at it, I know that it's in the house and it makes me uncomfortable.
And it sounds like
so weird.
It sounds like a childish thing, or it almost sounds like, I think to people who don't get it, it sounds like you're just like being extra and like making a big deal. But like, so
you've seen it.
I've seen it, and also like because I also have it, I know what my weird triggers are, and I have my own like really weird triggers and things that like I can't deal with, and she like does her best to accommodate mine too. So like I see the texture thing, and I've seen her when she has to be near something or touch something, and she like, it's like all her hair like stands up, and it's a really adverse reaction. My
best friend is horrible.
He'll like run up to her with
these
blankets.
Pillows at his place that I absolutely hate, and anytime he sees me like avoiding them, first of all, he's so nice, he'll like put them out of the way, like, and put them and like hide them so I don't see them.
It's so cute.
But then sometimes when he gets irritated with me, he'll like pull them out and throw them at me. Like that's a tactic.
That's funny.
It's not even funny, it's a tactic to get me to like stop annoying him.
So like I think that like that's something that like I think a main piece of advice you could give somebody that doesn't have ADHD, that has a partner that does, is to like ask them like if they have any sensory issues, because sensory issues are like a really big part of ADHD. And then also just like trust them. Like I think that some people hear somebody say something like, oh, I can't touch this, and they just are like, oh, here we go, like Mrs. Snowflake, like trying to like you're trying to be annoying. But like in real life, like we're not joking around, we're full-blown adults. These things actually genuinely bother us, and it really sucks when you feel like your partner just thinks you're annoying. Trust your partner. If they say, this is a no for me, this is a boundary, and you're just gonna cross it all the time because you think they're being ridiculous, like that's not fair. Trust your partner when they say that something bothers them a lot. Like for me, it's noise. Like I can't, when there's like a million noises, like if like our kids have iPads, and then if they're like both have different like games going, and all you hear is like bing 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 boom boom boom, and we have a TV on and there's like a kettle rumbling all at the same time, I actually like want to rip out my hair and poke my eyes out, like and like hot poker my ears. If I'm in a car and they're playing games or doing things, like I can't stand repetitive noises, like beeping noises. Like I don't know, I'm really sensitive to a lot of sounds, like loud noises too. Like I don't like when it's really loud. And that's a thing that people can also be like, oh, you're just being like extra, because it's just noise. I work in a job environment that's really loud, but I actually have like literal noise canceling headphones that I like bring to work. Yeah. Because that's how bad it is sometimes.
Well, okay, let's just say like when you're on medication, like we are, it's way easier. Yeah,
obviously. We both take medication.
It's way easier when you're on medication, but like if you have somebody who, and there's lots of people out there who don't believe in medicating, and they believe in doing other holistic methods to try and help them focus and gain clarity and be able to like do what they need to do in their everyday life. Like,
kudos to you.
Kudos to you. But like for us, medication was the last resort. I struggled. It was my last resort. And so it's better now, but it's like...
I actually went through my diagnosis with you.
She did, because I was like, I know you have it and you need to get checked out.
And I totally get that like things can be frustrating for the other person.
But because I'm
it.
ADHD and I know, I'm like, oh, babe, you forgot your laundry to flip it. Do you want me to flip it for you today if she's at work and I'm at the house? Yeah. And I'm not irritated because I would do the exact same thing. So
and I think that's like the what's the word?
The piece. That's the missing piece that a lot of that's really hard when you're with somebody
that doesn't struggle like that.
And I, like my last partner would interpret it as me not caring and me like genuinely like disrespecting them. And honestly, like it's not that we were trying to disrespect them or we didn't care enough or we didn't love them or anything like that. That is not the reason why. It was literally just because we just like could not do it. Like I would set alarms and then I don't even know, and the alarm would go off and I'd be like, why did I set the alarm? Like it was like, or I'd set the alarm with the name on it and I'd be like, oh yeah, but I was doing something else. So then I'd be like, oh, the alarm went off in the middle of me doing something else, so I'll do that after, and then I forget. So it's just like having patience, and it's kind of crazy sometimes when the two of us are together like trying to figure it out, but we like make it work. We try to like sit down with a calendar as much as we can, and we try to like schedule things out as much as we can in like advance or whatever, so we know what's going on, just to try and like ease things. But it does get out of control a little bit. But
but that's the thing, is that it's going to be messy and chaotic when you date someone with ADHD if they struggle the way that we do, and everyone's different. But I think that like the main piece is like recognizing that you cannot expect them to just like learn how to like get rid of it. Like it doesn't go away, right? If you give your partner like anxiety about all these things they're trying so hard to do, one, it's just going to make them resent you, and two, it's just going to make them have more anxiety, and then it'd be harder for them to do these things you're asking them to do. Like the best thing you can do is, even though it's frustrating, to like support them and like help them find a way to get it done. Like maybe it's like setting multiple reminders in their phone, or maybe it's not gonna be perfect, but like there's certain things, or sticky notes everywhere, things to like help them remember. Like I have like a little note that says like what pills I take in the morning and at night, because I take a bunch of supplements and stuff, because if I didn't have that, would never remember to take anything. Right? Like you go through phases where for a month you forget to take your like ADHD meds because you just forgot.
Well, no, I think that was yes, but I also think there was other stuff going on there. But yeah, and I mean, obviously it's weird though, because it's like if it has anything to do with the kids, on it. Yeah. Actually, sometimes we forget things with the kids. But
they're always taken care of though. Yeah. We're talking about little things. Yeah. But I think in general, keeping up with the household when you have ADHD is really difficult, and that's something you're gonna have to be patient about with somebody. I think in general, like I guess
patience is key.
Patience is key.
Understanding
acceptance is key.
It, and just loving the person and not getting frustrated with them. I know it's gonna be hard. It's hard, but
yeah, like what you have to remember is that it's not like their life is just easy and they're just forgetting these things to make you have to pick up their slack and they just have to be lazy. It's like life is really hard for them. Like both of us, like we struggle. We definitely struggle. It's better now, but we had our moments where it's been really hard. So I guess it's just like being there for your partner and supporting them through that.
But yeah, guys, that's our little rant, our little spiel for the day.
We could do a series about this, honestly. There's so many things we could talk about.
Yeah. But so comment down below if you want to see a little bit more on this topic from us. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when we're dropping new videos. And on that note, we will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
All right.
That was so fucking long.
You can cut that out. Huh?